I.S.U.P.K headquarters, Sabbath service has officially begun. Shapar, which means horn. Yayun, which stands for wine. La Yasharala, which means to Israel. Man, woman of Israel. I.M.A.J.M, which means to stand. Saw upon your walk with them, which means turn and face the east. Go on to recite the prayers. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, I.S.U.P.K, Yahweh, Malakavka, Taba'ah, Latazaka, I.S.U.P.K, Ba'aratazah, Kawa, I.S.U.P.K, Bashamayim, Nadalanawa, Nakam, Ka, Yawam, Wasalakanawa, Kawawak Yanawa, Kasalaknawa, Kawawak Yanawa, Wala'ah, Tabayaynawa, Banasaiwan, Abal, Awashainawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Amalakwa, Wa'ala, Wa'atapara, Na'awalamyam, Aman. In the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. So be it. Hakak, the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh, Hashem Yahushua, Baba Bashar, Nathanawa, Hakak, Hakak, Larapa'ah, Kalmakala, Kalmadawa, Hakak, Lata'ah, Hamatazarayim, Hakak, Lahakwiyam, Hamathim, Hakak, Arakara, Atama'ala, Nagarashan, Hashem Yahushua, Wadaman. In the English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, cast them out in the name of Yahushua. Thank you. So be it. Psalm 21 in the Hebrew, 121. Asha'ah, Ayanya, Ahahoya, Ma'ayan, Yaba'ah, Isaiah Ma'an, Yahweh, Aisha, Shamayam, Wa'arataza, Ayatan, Lamawak, Wagalka, Ayanawam, Shamorka, Hana, La'ah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yashan, Shawamor, Yasharala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Ayad, Yamyanka, Yawamam, Ashamash, La'ah, Yakaka, Wayarak, Balayala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Akarai, Yashamar, after the Pascha, Yahweh, Yashamar, Tasa'afka, Wa'aka, Wa'aika, I will learn in the English. I will lift up my eyes unto the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. So meaning three the Hebrew. Al-Hayam, Al-Damayalaka, Al-Takarash, Al-Tashakwat, Al-Kayahana, Al-Yagyaka, Yahama Yawan, Wamashanayaka, Nasha'awa, Ra'ash, Al-Aimaka, Yairayamwa, Sawa, Wayaka Yaitazawa, Altazapawanyaka, Amawa, Lakawa, Walakatida, Magoya, Wala'a, Yazakar, Sham Yasharala, Aiwa, Haya, Nawa Aitazawa, La, Yakadwa, Ayaka, Bara'a, Yakawakwa, Ahoya, Adawam, Wayashamayalayam, Mawa Abba, Wahagoyam, Gabor, Wa'aimawan, Wa'aimalak, Palashak, Anya Shabya, Tazawar, Gamashawar, Nalawa, Aimam, Hayawa, Zawawai, Nabanyalawa, Salah, Aishalaham, Hamadian, Hasayasara, Hayabyan, Banakal, Wayashwan, Nashamadwa, Bayanda Ara, Hayawa, Hayawa, Yaman, La Adama, Shayatamwa, La Yamawa, Kaira, Wakasa Abba, Wakasa Ba, Wakasa Samana, Kanasa Yakamwa, Ashar, Amarwa, Nayara Shah, La Nawa, La Awa, Alahayam, Alahaya, Shayatamwa, Kagogala, Kakwash, Talahat, Oyam, Kantaradatma, Basa Iwaka, Wabasa Wapaka, Tabahalam, Mala'a, Yaham, Kuala One, Wayabakwashwa, Shanka, Yahawa, Yabashwa, Wayabaawa, Ayai, Wayakapawa, Wayabadwa, Wayadaiwa, Haya, Akba, Shanka, Yahawa, Labaka, Ayawan, Anka Ha'arakaza. Keep not that silence on my power. Hold not that peace. And be not still. On my power. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult. And they that hate thee have lifted up their head. They have taken crafty counsel against our people. And consulted against our hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gabal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Saul also is joined with them. They have opened the children of Lot. Salah. Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kison, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Oreb, and like Seheb. Yea, all their princes, as Sabbath and as Salmuna, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of the power and possession. Oh, my power, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as the fire burner for wood, and as the flame set up the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy temper, and make them afraid with that storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. Oh Yahweh, let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that man may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the Most High over all the earth. I should keep blessing in Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh, wa Yahweh, wa Mayaka Allah, wa Alahayam, Matazab Ya'ah, Alawat Yahana, Ha Alawatyam, Ha Saranyam, Ha Quatazayanyam, Ha Kayayanyam, wa Ha Aquatyam, Yahweh, Hashem Yahshah, Yawada Aman, in the English. Bless you, Yahweh, and Yahushua, and Michael, and the angel, commanding General Yohana, the generals, the captains, officers, the troopers, and the sisters. Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua, thank you. So be it. Bless Israel in the Hebrew. Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Barak Lanawa, Wa Yasharala, Wa Habayah, Sapayam, Barak, Rapa'ah, Magan, Hagan, Yasharala, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Yawada Aman in the English. Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua, bless us and the school, bless, heal, shield, protect, Israel, in the name of Yahushua. Thank you. So be it. I.S.U.P.K curses. Blessed are you, Yahweh, King of heaven and earth, and all things living. Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua, listen to us now, right now. Send evils and curses, and punishment and destruction to the heathen that speak against us, like prophets, the teachers, the princes, the priests, the Israelite brothers in the school. Send evils and curses, and punishment and destruction to the heathen, and shake loose the treasure of the rich of Israel that refuse to give to the school. Force their riches to enter into that sanctuary. Send evils and curses, and punishment and destruction to the Edomites and the nation and their drug dealers, the court system, the prison system, Planned Parenthood, all the governments of our enemies, Amalek synagogues and armies, Roman Catholic Church, the Pope, Islam, Christianity, Egyptology, militia, Ku Klux Klan, Aryan Nation, Skinhead, Posse Kamatazi, the gay movement, the lesbian movement, spies, workers of witchcraft, National Space Program, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine, Wall Street. Open up the internet and the airways, the cable access channel, and the radio channel. Convict the spirit of any of thy people that seek to stop us, and bring swift destruction to all the heathen that stand in the way of trying to stop us from broadcasting your word throughout the planet Earth. Let loose all the plagues, cause them to go to and fro through the earth and consume them. Let the plague shake the house of the thief and the murderer. Let Yahushua, Michael and Gabriel come down with the flying saucers and punish all the heathens that come up against us as we speak that word. Cause it to be known by all that it is the angels that have done it. Cause it to be spread through the media throughout the whole world. Cause it to shake that type coming. In the name of Yahushua, thank you always. So be it. So, turn. Shabia, you seated? Last week, Piratazar, we left off at, what is it? Second Esther,
14.
I'll say Second Esther. Esther chapter 2, verse 13, right?
14.
We left at 14?
No. Oh no, we left off on 13. We're starting on 14. So not this.
All right. So picking it up in Esther chapter 2, verse 14 in the Hebrew. Mabayaf, Hanashiam, Bayaf, Hamalak. Oh, Salaki. That was the rest of verse 13. Verse 14 start at Ba'id Rab, Haya'ah, Baha, Waba Bakwa, Haya'ah, Shabbat, Allah, Bayaf, Hanashiam, Shanya, Yad, Sha'ai, Sha'aish Gazar, Saras, Hamalak, Shamar, Hapaya, Lagashiam, La'a, Tabawa, Iwad, Hamalak. Verse 15, Kaya, Chagat, Kapataza, Ba'a, Hamalak, Wana, Kwaraha, Basham. Verse 15 starts now. So like it. Wabaha Gayai, Tha, Asata, Ba, Habaya Kaya, Dada, Maradakia, Ashar, Laquak, Lawa, Labath, Labawa, Hamalak, La'a, Bakwasha, Dabar, Kaya, Ath, Ashar, Ya Amar, Hadaya, Sarayas, Hamalak, Shamar, Hanashim, Wathahaya, Asata, Nasha'a, Khan, Ba'ayanya, Ha, Ra'aya, verse 16. Watha Laqwa, Asata, Hamalak, Aka, Shawar, Wash, Bayath, Malako, Wafwa, Bakadash, Ha'ai Shayara, Ha'ai Shayariya, Hawa'a, Kadash, Tabath, Bashanath, Shabai, Lamalak, Wafwa, verse 17, Waya, Ahab, Hamalak, Asathar, Makal, Hanashim, Watha, Shah, Khan, Wakasad, Lapan Yawa, Makal, Habath, Lawath, Wayasham, Kathar, Malakwath, Bara Ashar, Wayamalayaka, Takath, Washafia, verse 18, Wayaish, Hamalak, Mashatha, Gadawar, Lakal, Sharayawa, Wa'ai, Badyawa, Mashathar, Asathar, Wahanaka, Lamadia Nawaf, Aisha, Wayathan, Masha'af, Kayad, Hamalak, verse 19, Wabaha, Wataza, Batha, Walawaf, Shamyath, Wamara, Dakia, Yashab, Bashaira, Hamalak, verse 20, Hayan, Hasathar, Magadath, Mawalath, Wa'af, Aima'ah, Kaashar, Tazawah, Ailaya, Maradakia, Wa'af, Ma'amar, Maradakia, Asathar, Aisha'ah, Kaashar, Hayatha, Ba'amana, Afwa, verse 21.
Last verse.
Bayamyam, Haham, Wamaradakia, Yawashab, Bashai, Hamalak, Quatazak, Bagathan, Wathar, Wathar Rosh, Shanya, Sarayasya, Hamalak, Mashamoya, Asap, Waya Bakwashwa, Lashalak, Yad, Bamalak, Akash, Rarash. Right? Picking it up in the English. Esther chapter 2, verse 14. All right, so last week when we left off the part where all the maiden were brought to the king. But let me read verse 13 so we could get the backdrop. Then thus came every maiden unto the king. Whatsoever she desired was given her to go with her out of the house of the woman unto the king's house. All right, so we spoke about that's after they stripped. What was that heathen queen, the queen of the feminist movement? What was her name?
Oh no, not Abby Steiner.
No, we're talking about here in Esther.
Oh.
We're not talking about 2022. What was her name? Hold on, let me get it. I can't believe I forgot her name.
Is that almost like the beginning of the
Vashti. All right. So that's after the king had stripped Vashti of her power that she thought she had, that she thought she could rule over the king, and not submitting herself and disrespecting the king, the princes and the officers that were under the king. So after that, they brought all the woman so that the king could make a decision on who is going to be his next wife. All right, who is going to become the next queen. So this is where we left off at. Now in verse 14, in the evening she went, and on the morrow she returned into the second house of the woman to the custody of Shaashgaz, the king chamberlain, which kept the concubines. She came in unto the king no more, except the king delighted in her, and that she were called by name. Verse 15. Now when the turn of Esther, the daughter of Abihail, the uncle of Mordecai, who had taken her for his daughter, was come to go in unto the king, she required nothing but what Haggai, the king's chamberlain, the keeper of the woman, appointed. And Esther obtained favor in the sight of all them that looked upon her. Verse 16. So Esther was taken unto King Ahasuerus into his house royal in the 10th month, which is the month Tebeth, in the 7th year of his reign. All right. So this is to tell you that Esther, she was a beautiful sister. All right. She was a beautiful sister to look upon. A beautiful black woman from the tribe of Benjamin. All right. And she caught the king's attention. Verse 17, the king loved Esther above all women. He loved her above all the other women that was there. He loved that Benjamite sister. That's who he fell in love with. All right. And she obtained grace and favor in his sight more than all the virgins. All right. More than all the other young women. She's the one that obtained favor in the sight of the king. So that he set the royal crown upon her head and made her queen instead of Vashti. All right. Verse 18. Then the king made a great feast unto all his princes and his servants, even Esther's feast. And he made a release to the provinces and gave gifts according to the state of the king. So what happened here is not a glorious thing. It wasn't a glorious thing that our sister became the queen, all right, the wife of a heathen king. That was not a glorious thing. But you got to remember, at that time we were under captivity. All right, the same way we are today, and we can see the same thing happening with our sisters going into participating or indulging into interracial marriage. All right, at that time, Esther did not have a choice because she was a slave, a captive, and she just had to become the rib of this king, this heathen king. All right, contrary to now, where our sisters are voluntarily, giving themselves unto heathen men, whether it be an Arab or white man or East Indian. All right, let's keep on going. Verse 19. And when the virgins were gathered together the second time, then Mordecai sat in the king's gate. Verse 20. Esther had not yet shewed her kindred nor her people, as Mordecai I had charged her. So like as Mordecai had charged her. For Esther did the commandment of Mordecai, like as when she was brought up with him. 21. In those days, while Mordecai sat in the king's gates, two of the king's chamberlains, Bigtan and Teresh, of those which kept the door. Bigtan, that sounds like a hood name. Who's that? That's Debo. That's Bigtan.
Lieutenant.
Yeah, that's Bigtan. Two of the king's chamberlains, Bigtan and Teresh, of those which kept the door, were wroth and sought to lay hands on the king Ahasuerus. All right, so these two guards, they wanted to kill the king for whatever reason they wanted to. The same way like the security of the president in Haiti were implicated in his assassination. So there was a conspiracy to kill the king. And who knows who was behind it. These two chamberlains, they were plotting. All right? So we're going to find out in the next set how a Benjamite ended up saving this heathen life. All right? Which is going to benefit us towards the end of the story. Now we're picking it up at chapter 2, verse 22. All right? Raya Wadai Hadabar Lamara Dakia Wayagad Laasa Satar Hamalaka Watha Amar Asatar Lamalak Basham Maradakia Waya Bakwash Hadabar Waya Matazar Waya Tawa Shanyaham Itazar Waya Katab Basapar Daboya Hayamyam Lapanya Hamalak Akar Ha Daborium Ha Alaham Gadal Hamalak Akash Warawash Af Haman Bun Hamadathaya Agagya Wayan Sha'awar Wayasham Af Kasa'awar Ma'ayl Kal, Hashariam, Ashar, Athwa, Wakal, Ibadia, Hamalak, Ashar, Bashaira, Hamalak, Karayam, Wamashath, Kawathiam, La Aman, Kaya, Kun, Tazawar, Lawa, Hamalak, Wamara, Dakia, La'a, Yakarai, Wala'a, Yashafta, Kawa, Waya Amawa, Badia, Hamalak, we in verse 3, Hamalak, Ashar, Bashaira, Hamalak, Lamara, Dakia, Madawai, Atha, Waba, here, verse 3. Iwabar, Matazawath, Hamalak, verse 4, Wayahaya, Ba Amar Rum, Allah Yawam, Wayawam, Wala'a, Shamai, Allah Yaham, Yadwa, La Hamar, La Awath, Hayai, Madwa, Dabaria, Mara, Dakia, Kaya, Hagayad, Laham, Ashar, Hawa'a, Wadia, verse 5.
Last verse.
Waya Ra'a, Haman, Kaya, Ayan, Mara, Dakia, Karai, Wamashath, Kawa, Lawa, Wayamala, Haman, Hama. It's like Kama, right? Esther chapter 2, verse 22. And the thing was known to Mordecai. So Mordecai find out what Big Thing and them was trying to do, Mordecai find out Big Thing and them, they trying to conspire to kill the king, who told it unto Esther, the queen. So he told it to, that would be his cousin, right? But he raised her as a daughter. Who told it unto Esther, the queen. And Esther certified the king thereof in Mordecai's name. Verse 23. And when inquisition was made of the matter, it was found out. So Esther made the king aware of it in Mordecai's name, right? But the king doesn't know who the hell, this Mordecai is. He doesn't know what's going on, really. And when inquisition was made of the matter, it was found out. Therefore, they were both hanged on a tree, and it was written in the book of the Chronicles before the king. All right. All right. Verse 1 in chapter 3. After these things, King Ahasuerus promote Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, and advance him, and set his seat above all the princes that were with him. Verse 2. And all the king's servants that were in the king's gate bowed and reverenced Haman. For the king had so commanded concerning him. But Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence. All right, so you got this Benjamite brother who's like, bow down to no heathen man. All right, bow down to no filthy heathen. All right, so that was a problem. That was a problem for Haman, and we're gonna find out about it. All right. You're gonna find out what these Benjamite, how these Benjamite, just by not bowing down, is I got you, bro. Just simply by not bowing down, it's an insult, to the heathen, and these people cannot have it where we not bowing down to them, when we not kissing their behind. And this is why when men like Kanye West, men like Kyrie Irving, when they get some strength from watching the I.S.U.P.K, right, from knowing their true identity, when they get some strength and try to say something about it, the heathen, they get upset, right? They get really upset. They go in an uproar because when you claim your identity, that means you're not bowing down to the education that you receive. You're not supposed to say you're a Jew. This is not what we are supposed to say. We're supposed to bow down to the oppressors' curriculum as far as us being African American, descendant of, I don't know, Dahomey and Ashanti. That's what we're supposed to claim. We're not supposed to claim that some so-called Negroes in America are actually indigenous to this land, like Captain Soccerwall. We're not supposed to say that. We're not supposed to say that the indigenous people in the Americas, whether it's South, Central, North America, right, the Taino Indians, they are the Israelites, and they are still here. The Puerto Ricans are Israelites, right? We're not supposed to say that because the minute you say that, you're not bowing down to the oppressor, and they're gonna try to find a way to make you apologize or make you bow down. Baratazar, you have something to say?
Absolutely. So, if I'm not mistaken, I'm checking right now. All right, that's how you, Hyman,
God.
Hyman, right, he was a descendant of the, Amalekites.
Yeah, he was a descendant of the Agagite that King Saul did not kill. Remember, King Saul, when he was commanded to kill all the people of the land, even the animals. So he did not do that. He left the king alive. So that is a direct descendant of that king.
Okay.
All right. Verse 23. It's like in verse 2 in chapter 3. And all the king's servants that were in the king's gate bowed in reverence Haman, for the king had so commanded concerning him, but Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence. Verse 3. Then the king's servants which were in the king's gate said unto Mordecai, why transgresseth thou the king's commandments? Why are you transgressing the king's commandments? Right? Why are you not listening to the Jewish man? Why are you not listening to Joe Biden? Why are you not going to vote? Why are you saying that you a Jew? Aren't you an African American? Right? Why are you not bowing down? Verse 4. Now it came to pass when they spake daily unto him, and he hearkened not unto them, that they told Haman to see whether Mordecai's matters will stand. All right, so they were speaking to that brother daily, the same way that they did Kanye West, right? When he first said, this is the real anti-Semitism, abortion clinics, all right? The hip hop culture, that's the real anti-Semitism. I can't be anti-Semitic, but because I'm Jew, all right? I'm Jew also, which is a soft way to say you're not a Jew. In the I.S.U.P.K, we will tell the devil, you're not a Jew. All right? And we're not apologizing for that. They have to apologize for stealing our identity. They owe us an apology. We don't owe them no apology, all right, for knowing our damn identity. So the same way that you see they were putting pressure on Kanye West. So you don't feel that what you said hurt people? Shouldn't you apologize? Shouldn't you say you're sorry? The same thing they did to Kyrie Irving, right? Every goddamn day they have an interview with him. Don't you feel like you hurt the Jewish people? You're hurting people's feelings. You're saying anti-Semitic shit. Don't you think you owe an apology, right? Meaning, translation. When are you going to bow down? That's what it comes down to. When are you going to bow down? You need to bow down. All right? So they were doing the same thing to Mordecai when they say, when Haman saw, yeah, brother.
Oh, so like you said, if I may, is one of these popular interviews that Malcolm X got interviewed back in the I think in the early 60s, yeah. So he was on a show. So the white man was like, "Oh, what's your name?" He said, "Malcolm X." He said, "What was your given name?" He said, "I never knew my given name." Right. You know what I'm saying? He said, "So what was the name of your father?" My father didn't know his name.
Right. I remember. I saw that.
You remember? Right. But he wanted him to bow.
Yeah.
He wanted to bow to say the servant.
He wanted to say the slave name.
Yeah, he wanted to say the slave name.
Yeah.
He wanted to bow.
Just so you could call him by his slave name. You know, the same way they did Muhammad Ali. Right? Even though Muhammad Ali went on the left side by, bowing down to another god, but for years they wasn't calling him Muhammad Ali. They was calling him Cassius Clay. And that's what Ye, he also made reference to that.
He did?
Yeah, he made reference to that. Don't call me Kanye West. I'm Ye, because he changed his name. I'm Ye. Don't do me like Muhammad Ali. He said something in that, but he definitely referenced how they did not honor Muhammad Ali's name when it got changed. All right. So this is what these people want, man. They want us to bow down. All right, and they wanted Mordecai to bow down, which is so key, man, because right now we see how these brothers are being persecuted. Right. Well, this is what we in the I.S.U.P.K. we go through. We lose wives over this truth. We lose our own damn children over this truth. You know what I'm saying? We lose slaveries over this truth. All right. We lose the love of our friends. Which wasn't love anyways. All right. Verse 5, and when Haman saw that Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence, then was Haman full of wrath. Verse 6, and verse 5 is the last verse? Okay, cut. So we're picking it up at verse 6 in the Hebrew. All right, let's see what's going on. Verse 6 in the Hebrew. Waya baza ba'ayyan yawa Lashalak Yad Bamarad Dakia Labadwa Kaya Hagayadwa Lawa Af Ain Maradakia Waya Bakwash Haman Laha Shamyad Kal Hawadium Ashar Bakal Malakwa Aka Shawar Wash Ain Maradakia, verse 7, Bakadash Hara Ash 1 Hawa'a Kadash Nayasan Bashanaf Shafyam I Shara Lamalak Akashar War Wash Hapaya Gawar Hawa'a Hagawara Lapanya Haman Maya Wam Layawam Wama Kadash Lakadash Shanyam Aishar Hawa'a Kadash Adar, verse 8, Waya Amor Haman Lamalak Aka Shawar Rawash Yashanwa Ain Akkad Mapazar Wama Parad Bayan Mayam Bakar Madyanwa Malakwafka Wadath Yaham Shanawath Makar Ain Wa'af Dathya Hamalak Ayanam Shayam Walamalak middle of verse 8. Walamalak Ayan Shawa'a Laha Nayakam, verse 9. Al Hamalak Tawab Yakatab La'ab Badam Wa'ai Sharaf Ala Payam Kakar Kasap Ashakwawa Ail Yadia Aishaya Hamalaka Lahabaya Al Ganazia Hamalak, verse 10. Rayasar Hamalak Af Taba'ai Thawa Ma'ail Yadawa Wayathna Lahaman Bun Hamad Hamadathaha Ha'a Daniya Tazara Haya Hawadium, verse 11. Waya Amar Hamalak Lahaman Hakasap Nathawan Lak Waha'aim La'ai Shawraf Bawa Katawab Ba'ai Yan Yak Waya Kwarawa Saparia Hamalak Bakadash Hara Ashwan Bashalawasha Aisha Yawam Bun Baya Katab Kakal Ashar Tazawar Haman Al Haka Shadar Panya Hamalak Wa'al Hapa Kawaf Ashar Al Madayana Wamadyana Wa'al Sharia Ain Wa'ain Madyanaha Wamadyanaha Kaka Taba Wa'ain Kala Shawanawa. Middle of verse 12. Basham Hamalak Aka Shawar Rash Nakatab Wana Katam Batha Ba'ai Hamalak, verse 13. Wana Shalawak Saparium Bayad Hara Tazayam Al Kal Madayan Waf Hamalak Laha Shamyad Laharad Wala Abad Af Kal Haya Hawadium, Manaira. 13 is the Lazarus, right?
Okay.
Wa'ai, Zaquan, Ta, Wanashim, Bayawam, Akkad, Bashalawasha, Aisha, Lakadash, Shaniam, Aisha, Hawa'a, Karash, Kadash, like it, Adar, Washalalam, Labawazah. Right? Picking it up in the English, chapter, what is that? 3 and 7? 3 and 6.
3 and 6.
All right. And he thought scorn to lay hands on Mordecai alone. All right. This is how the heathens really feel about Kanye West. You know what I'm saying? They don't just want to lay hands on him, they just want to murder him.
Yeah.
You know? They just want to kill us. These people, when we don't bow down, they, you know, if they see they trying to whip up with the lashes and it's not working, then we just got to kill this slave. We got to kill this Negro because he's not bowing down to us. And this is exactly what Haman wanted. Not only he wanted to kill Mordecai, but he wanted to kill all the Benjamites. He wanted to kill all Israel. Like the hell with these people. You know, talking about some God, Yahweh, the only living power. I'm God. You know, that's what they want to be to us. They want to be our power. They want to be our God. They don't want us to serve the the power of Israel. This is what they fear. This is really the reason why they don't want Kanye West to speak. They don't want Kyrie Irving to speak because they don't want the masses. Because when we are in the corners, people don't listen to us. We're not millionaires. You know, people have a respect of a person. But when you got a man like Kanye West, a billionaire, saying it, a man like Kyrie Irving, a multi-millionaire, saying it, then people might be like, you know what? These Israelites in the corners, they might be telling the truth. Then people will start and listen to the priests and prophets because they will realize that their favorite artist is really a slave that's trying to be us. He's really a slave, $1 million slave, $1 billion slave that's trying to get free. So it will really destroy the whole American dream in people's mind by realizing that their favorite artists, you know, they are sacrificing all that million that they wish they had for the truth. You know, and our oppressors, they fear that. Go ahead, brothers.
So if I may, you know, if they, you know what I'm saying, they're speaking like that and they open up the Bible, they try, oh wait, hold up. They try to say here, you know what I'm saying? I have to respect my brother.
Right.
I have to respect another black man. I have to respect another Hispanic. I cannot kill him.
Right.
There's a law, you know what I mean? There's a law to say that I cannot kill him at all.
I can't kill my baby. I can't go into abortion clinic.
So that's right. That he have to love me also.
Right. That's really a Holocaust. You know, which we got a sign. You know, I.S.U.P.K. We've had a sign about this forever, an abortion sign. All right, because you've been saying what abortion is Ku Klux Klan. You know, Planned Parenthood is Ku Klux Klan. That's what we've been saying for years. Since 1969, I.S.U.P.K. has been bringing this truth out. And you have so many brothers and sisters, they are now realizing that they are Israelites. They're now realizing that they are Jews. They're now realizing that the priests and prophets that be in the corners, we are telling the truth. Right? Because the Most High is opening up the internet right now at the time that we are living in. It's a great time to be alive, man, to be doing this work. All right, let's keep going from the middle of verse 6. Wherefore Haman sought to destroy all the Jews. All right, he wanted to kill all the Jews that were throughout the whole kingdom of Ahasuerus, even the people of Mordecai. All right, he wanted to kill all the Jews and all the Benjamites. All right, and he wanted to kill them not just in the region that he was in, but he wanted to kill them throughout the whole kingdom of Ahasuerus. Remember, in the first chapter, he was over 120 plus provinces. So he wanted to kill all the Jews throughout all these provinces, right? Because these people, they are separate. They're not like everybody else, which he's going to say as we read further. Let's keep going. Verse 7. In the first month, that is the month Nisan, in the 12th year of King Ahasuerus, they cast pur, that is the lot, before Haman from day to day and from month to month, to the 12th month, that is the month Adar. And Haman said unto King Ahasuerus, there is a certain people scattered abroad and dispersed among the people in all the provinces of thy kingdom. So now he's about to tell them about these people that are scattered all throughout this King Ahasuerus provinces. All right? And their laws are diverse from all people. Our laws is different. That tells you what? That tells you that the world really have a one world government. You know, they really have a one world religion, right? Whether it's Islam, whether it's Egyptology, whether it's give me some Hinduism, Buddha, all of that is the same garbage. They all a bunch of gods that are no gods. All right? And our power, the living God, gave us laws that are different from all of these heathens. That's why you see the Chinese eating bats over there in China, and snakes and rats and dogs, because they don't have the same laws that the children of Israel have. Right. That's why you see the Greeks, they indulge in the homosexuality and the pedophilia. Why? Because they don't have the same laws as us. We are not the same as these people. All right? And their laws are diverse from all people, neither keep they the king's laws. Therefore, it is not for the king's profit to suffer them. You should not leave these people alive. You should not endure with these people. No, you should not be dealing with these people. Go ahead, brothers.
Well, you know what I'm saying? These people tell me that they can't work on Saturday, on the Sabbath.
Right. And we need to make money on the Sabbath. You know? And this is why, man, when I tell you we have so much power, man, we have so much power, man. Barakatah Yahweh, Yahweh, you know, because we have a lot of power. You know, Black Man Expansion in India, we can shut down Thanksgiving. We can shut it down. We can shut down Thanksgiving, man. In the I.S.U.P.K, we shut down Thanksgiving. But you know what the issue is? We're not Kanye West. You know, we're not Kyrie Irving. We're not Jay-Z. So the people, they hear us, Baratazar, they pass in front of us. They're like, yeah, y'all telling the truth. Shalom. Mm-hmm. But guess what? They got a cigarette in their mouth while they're doing it. Right. Guess what? They got a Halloween costume on while they're doing it. You know, just last week. You know, I'm not making this up. You know, people are walking, they're in their costumes. And they're like, yeah, right. You know? Tell them. And they got a costume on. You know, we can't really shut this kingdom down, man, simply by boycotting sin. That's all. Just boycott sin and see how we could rule over these dead heathen. Let's keep on going. We in verse 9. Yeah, verse 9. We in Esther chapter 3, verse 9. If it please the king, let it be written that they may be destroyed, and I will pay 10,000 talents of silver to the hand of those that have the charge of the business, to bring it into the king's treasuries. Verse 10. And the king took his ring from his hand and gave it unto Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, the Jews' enemy. All right? People are our enemies, man. Right. Verse 11. And the king said unto Haman, the silver is given to thee, the people also. to do with them as it seemeth good to thee. So the king heard what Haman said. That's his second in command. So he heard, like, really? These people are not listening to me? They're not following my laws? All right, okay. Destroy them, right? Don't suffer them, don't deal with them. All right, no problem. He's my signature. All right, giving him the ring is giving him the signature. That means whatever you're gonna put in document, just use my signature so that it is official, it is certified. All right, verse 11. And the king said unto Haman, verse 12, so like that. Then were the king's scribes called on the 13th day of the first month, and there was written according to all that Haman had commanded unto the king's lieutenants and to the governors that were over every province, and to the rulers of every people, of every province, according to the written thereof, and to every people after their language. In the name of King Ahasuerus was it written, and sealed with the king's ring. All right. So the king basically stamped that document. Verse 13. We pick him 13 in the Hebrew, right?
Picking up on Habakkuk 18. Oh no, let me see here.
No, 15. We started at 6.
14, 3 and 14.
All right, so I gotta finish 13, right?
Yeah, you gotta finish reading on 13.
13, okay. And verse 13, and the letters were sent by post into all the king's provinces to destroy, to kill, and to cause perish all Jews, both young and old, little children and women. This is how wicked that Haman was, man. He wanted to kill who? Old, young, little children and women. All right? Little children and women in one day, even upon the 13th day of the 12th month, which is the month Adar, and to take the spoil of them for a prey. Right? This is how evil these people are. Verse 14, the copy of the written, sorry, verse 14, we're picking it up in the Hebrew. All right. So we in Ezra chapter 3, verse 14. Path Shagun Hakatab Laha Nathan Daf Bakal Mara Yana Wamad Yana Galawaya Lakal Ha'ai Mayam Lahayawa I Thadium Layawam Hazaa, verse 15, Hara Kazayam Ya Kazawa Daka Wapayam Daka Wapyam Badabar Hamalak Wahada Natha Naha Bashar Washan Habayara'a Wa'a Malak Wahaman Yashabwa Lasha Tawaf Waha'ai Ya Shawa Shan Naba Waka'a, chapter 4, verse 1. Wamaradakya Yadai Af Kal Ashar Na'ai Sha'a Waya Qara'ai Maradakya Af Bagadiyawa Wayala Bashar, Shakwa, Wa'apar, Wayataza'a, Bathawan, Ha'ayar, Waya Za'aikwa, Za'aikwaha, Dada Wala'a, Wamara'a, verse 2, Waya Bawa'a, Aid, Lapanya, Sha'ira, Hamalat, Kaya, Ayan, Labawa'a, Al, Sha'ira, Hamalat, Bala, Bawash, like a Bala, Bawash, Shakwa, verse 3, Wabakar, Madayana, Wama Dayanaha, Makwa Wam, Ashar, Dabar, Hamalak, Wadahwa, Magayai, Abal, Gadawar, Laya, Hawadium, Wa Tazawam, Bakya, Wama Sapar, Shakwa, Wa'apar, Ya Taza'ai, Larabium, verse 4, Watha Bawa Ayana'a, Na'ai Warath, Asatha, Wa Sarai Yas Yaha, Waya Gayadwa Laha, Hatha Takala Kal, Hamalak Ha, Ma'ad, Watha Shalak, Bagadium, Laha Laki, Laha Labayash, Af, Maradakia, Walaha Sayar, Shakwawa, Ma'ai Layawa, Wala'a, Kwabal, Watha Kwara'a, Asatha, Lahatak, Masarayasya, Hamalak, Ashar, Ha'ai Mayad, Lapanyaha, Watha Tazawahawa, I.
Which verse are you reading?
I'm reading verse 5.
Verse 5, all right, that's the last verse.
Al Maradatya Lada'ai Maha Zaha Wa'ai Maha Zaha. All right. In Esther chapter 3, verse 14. The copy of the written for a commandment to be given in every province was published unto all people, that they should be ready against that day. All right, verse 15. The post went out, being hastened by the king's commandment, and the decree was given in Shushan, the palace. And the king of Haman sat down to drink, but the city Shushan was perplexed. Chapter 4, verse 1. When Mordecai perceived all that was done, Mordecai rent his clothes and put on sackcloth with ashes and went out into the midst of the city and cried with a loud and a bitter cry. Verse 2. And came even before the king's gate, for none might enter into the king's gate clothed with sackcloth. All right? So Mordecai was terrified, man. He was terrified. Can you imagine right now in 2022, you hear that the government, Joe Biden, make a decree. All right, he passed a law. He passed an order for the army to go in the streets of Southside Jamaica, Queens, in the street, in the ghettos of Chicago, in the ghettos of Mississippi, right? The ghettos of Harlem, the Bronx, and in Atlanta, and Florida, where our people are living in, and say to murder all the Benjamites, murder all the Jamaicans, kill all the Haitians, all the Dominicans and Mexicans. I killed them all, right? Kill the woman, kill the man, kill the little Mexican baby, the little Jamaican and Haitian baby, kill them all, and kill the woman, right? So we will be, terrified about this. And this is what Mordecai heard about this decree that the king sealed, really according to Haman's desire. When he found out about that, he was terrified. Right? Verse 3, and in every, sorry, picking verse 3 in the Hebrew. Verse 6. Verse 3, and in every province wheresoever the king's commandment and his decree came, there was great mourning among the Jews, and fasting, and weeping, and wailing, and many lay in sackcloth and ashes. Verse 4, so Esther's maids and her chamberlains came and told it her. Then was the queen exceedingly grieved. All right, so she found out about this, but now she is the queen. She is in the house of a heathen, all right, with power and riches. But she was grieved about this. Why? Because it is her people. And she sent raiment to clothe Mordecai and to take away his sackcloth from him. But he received it not. So he didn't receive, the Gucci and the Prada and the Louis Vuitton. He's like, nah, I must stay dressing in sackcloth because that is our custom to be in sackcloth when we are in mourning, when we are mourning about a situation. Right? Verse 5. Then called Esther for Hathach, one of the king's chamberlains, whom he had appointed to attend upon her, and gave him a commandment to Mordecai to know what it was and why it was. All right. Now we're picking it up from Hebrew, chapter 4, verse 6 in Hebrew. Will be our last verse. Watha tazawa hawa il mara dakia ladai maha za'a wa'al maha za'a. Oh, so like that was the end of verse 5. Verse 6 begins with waya taza'a tak al mara dakia al Rakarab, Ha'ayar, Ashar, Lapanya, Sha'ira, Wa Malak, Hamalak, verse 7, Waya Gad, Lawa, Mara Dakia, Af, Kal, Ashar, Farahawa, Wa'af, Harashaf, Hakasap, Ashar, Amar, Haman, Lashar, Pawal, Isla, Ganazia, Hamalak, Baya Kawad, Yayam, La'a Badam, verse 8, Wa'af, Path, Shagun, Katab, Hadath, Ashar, Nathan, Basha, Washan, Lahashama, Yadam, Nathan, Lawa, Lahara, Awaf, Af, Asathar, Gala, Wahalagiyad, Laha, Walatazawa, Wa, Alayam, Labawa'a, Al, Hamalak, Lahatakan, Lahatakanan, Lawa, Wala Bakwash, Mala Panyawa, Al, I Maha, verse 9, Waya Bawa'a, Hatak, Waya Gad, La'a Satar, Af, Deboya, Mara, Salaki, Maradakia, verse 10, Watha Amar, Asathar, Lahatak, Watha Tazawa Hawa, Al, Maradakia, verse 11, Kal, Ibadia, Hamalak, Wa'aim, Baya, Bakta, Madaya, Nawaf, Hamalak, middle of verse 11, Yarada'aim, Ashar, Kal, Ayash, Wa'asha'a, Ashar, Yabawa'a, Al, Hamalak, Al, Ha Tazara, Hapan Yam Yaf, Ashar La'a, Yakra'a, Akaf, Dathawar, Lahamayaf, Labad, Ma Ashar, Yawashayat, Lawa, Hamalak Af, Shara Bayaf, Hazahab, Wahayaha, Wa Anya La'a, Nakwara Afia, Labawa'a Al, Hamalak, Zaha, Shalawashyam, Yawam, verse 12, Waya Gayadwa, Lamaradakia, Af, Deboya, Asathar. Right? Verse 12. All right, picking it up. Esther chapter 4, verse 6. So, Ratazar, can you check if we encounter, because I believe we studied one set at Esther 3 and 6, right? That means we would have supposed to end at 12, if that was so. Just go back to Esther 2 and 14 and do the count and make sure we on track. All right. We studied at Esther 2 and 14. 14 was the first verse. All right. So we now in Esther chapter 4, verse 6. So Hatak went forth to Mordecai unto the street of the city which was before the king's gate, and Mordecai told him of all that had happened unto him, and of the sum of the money that Haman had promised to pay to the king's treasuries for the Jews to destroy them. Verse 8, and he gave him the copy of the writing of the decree that was given at Shushan to destroy them, to show it unto Esther, and to declare it unto her, and to charge her that she should go in unto the king to make supplication unto him, and to make request before him for her people. So Mordecai has this message, to go to that's the original email for Balthazar, and he gave that letter as an attachment. Right? He sent him as a messenger to go tell Esther, look, this is what's happening, and we need you. We need Esther to tell the king, look, this is what's going to happen to my people. They're trying to kill my people and make supplication. Meaning, go tell the king, go ask the king to stop the matter. All right, don't let this escalate, and then we end up genocide end up being committed on us, all your people throughout all the provinces of this king. And now we are no more people. Go ahead, Brothers up.
Yes, you start on chapter 4, verse 6. Oh, the 12, you stop at 12.
I'm going to start at 12.
Okay, yeah, that was it.
That's on point?
Yeah, no, that was my fault. But that's the correct. You stop at 12. I have a 13.
Okay, so yeah, I was supposed to start when we was in Esther 3. I was supposed to start at 12, right?
So yeah, your first set, you started on 14, but you ended in 21.
Right.
You're supposed to end at 20.
Okay. All right. So this one, what about this set here? Where am I supposed to?
This is the correct set. You stop at 12.
I'm supposed to start at 12 in verse. Yeah, I'm in chapter 4.
Chapter 4, verse 6 to 12.
Verse 9, and Hathach came and told Esther the words in Mordecai. Verse 10, again Esther spake unto Hathach and gave him commandment unto Mordecai. Verse 11, and the king's servants and the people of the king's provinces do know that whosoever, whether man or woman, shall come unto the king into the inner court, who is not called, there is one law of his to put him to death. All right, so the king have a law. When he is in his office, so to speak, like nobody's supposed to just walk in there unless you got permission. If somebody does it, they got to be put to death. It don't matter who it is, man or woman. All right. Except such to one the king shall hold out of the golden scepter, that he may live. But I have not been called to come in unto the king these 30 days. All right. So that's, Esther giving an excuses on why she's not going to save her people. That's what she's doing right here, brothers. And she's going to get checked for that. She's making an excuses. You know what? I can't save my people right now because, the king got this, he got this amendment in the Constitution. He got this law, he got this decree that says if such and such, do this, then they're gonna that person is gonna be put to death. Therefore, if I go and try to save my race, I might die. This is how she was thinking. And Mordecai is going to check the hell out of her. And we're about to read it. Verse 12. And they told to Mordecai Esther's words. All right. We read 13 already in the Hebrew. We stopping at 19, right? Brothers up?
I don't have 19. It's 17.
5 and 2.
Yeah, 5 and 2. The last one is 5 and 2.
All right. We read 13 already. We're picking it up at 15. We're in Esther chapter 4, verse 15. Kaya Hakarash Takarashya.
You already read 13, correct?
I read 13. So I'm reading 14. I'm reading 14 now. Wow. Ba'ai Hazahav Rawak Waha Tazala'a Ya'ai Mawad Layaha Wadiam Mama Kwawam Akar Wa'af Wabayat Abayat Ta'a Badawa Wamaya Yawa Da'ai La'if Kaza'af Haga'if Lamalak Waf, verse 15. Watha Amar Asatha Laha Shayab Al Marad Dakia La
Kana was af kal haya hawadium hanama taza ayam basha washan wa taza wa ma wa alia wa al ta'a kawa wa al tashafwa shalashaf yum yum laya laha waya wam gum anya Wanaai Wafia Atazawam Kun Wabakan Abba Wa'a Al Hamalak Ashar La'a Kadaf Waka Ashar Abadthia Salakia Abadathia Wayai Bar Maradakia Wayaish Kakal Ashar Tazawatha Ail Yawa Asathar chapter 4 verse 1 Wayahaya Bayawam Hashalayashia Watha Labash Asathar Malak Kawaf Watha'ai Mad Bakatazar Bayath Hamalak Ha Hun Yum Yath Na Kak Bayath Hamalak Wahamalak Yawashab Al Kasar Malak Wafwa Bayath Hamalak Wath Nakak Pathak Habayath verse 2 Wayahaya Kara Awath Hamalak Af Asathar Hamalaka I Madaf Bakatazar Nasha'ah Khan Ba'ai Yan Yawa Waya Washak Hamalak La'a Sathar Af Sharabayat Haza'ah Ashar Bayadwa Watha Kwarab Asathar Watha Ga'ai Bara'ash Ashar Bayat. Alright, that's verse. Okay, we in chapter 4, verse 13. Then Mordecai commanded to answer Esther. Alright, so this is the checking. Right, listen to this carefully because this is what man like Shaquille O'Neal. Give me some names of Baratazar recently. I call our brothers idiots, you know, because they dared not bow down to the oppressor. Because our brothers did not bow down to the oppressor, you got sellout Negroes inside the master's house who think that they are protected by being a good slave, by being a good servant, by saying, yes, master, you are my boss, master, and I'm not going to tell my people that we are the Jews, even though that I know that we are the real Jews. Go ahead, brothers. We got Shaquille O'Neal, we got Stephen A. Smith.
Stephen A. Smith, we got Charles Barkley.
Charles
Barkley.
Oh
man. Hold on. Nori.
Yeah, we got Noriega who just threw our brother under the bus.
Charlemagne died.
Yeah, Charlemagne, that's another one. And he knows better too. Because he have a whole interview that they dug up from 9 years ago where he said the exact same thing. He's like, they run this shit. That's exactly how he said it. You know why we don't have Jewish rappers, you know? Because they are the CEOs. They run this shit. They run this whole hip hop thing. And then you mad at Kanye for saying Jewish people own the black voice. Right? You're a hypocrite. And you think you are safe inside of Master's house. All right? So this is what Mordecai said to Esther, because Esther at the time, she's just thinking about her life. You know? She's just thinking like, you know what, I can't risk my life, you know, for my people. And that's the greatest thing you can do, man. Greatest thing you can do is risk your life for your people. Don't just see yourself. Look at your entire race. And this is what our people we lack. We lack compassion for our people. Not in the I.S.U.P.K. In the I.S.U.P.K, we do what we do, not for our sake, but for our people's sake, for our race, for our nation, for Israel's sake. This is why we sacrifice our lives, we sacrifice our families, sacrifice our jobs, slaveries, you know, sacrifice opportunities. Why? Because we must do the work, we must do the will of the Most High. And if the will of the Most High means we got to lose a slavery, we got to lose a wife, we got to lose a child that do not want to stop celebrating Christmas, that gonna feel like you are a bad parent because you tell them not to celebrate Christmas, then so be it, man. Because it's not about us, it's about our people. All right. So this is what Mordecai said in verse 13. Then Mordecai commanded to answer Esther, think not with thyself that thou shalt escape in the king's house. All right. More than all the Jews. Don't think because you are inside the king's house, you're going to escape this persecution. You're going to escape this genocide more than the rest of your people. Right. Verse 14. For if thou altogether holdest thy peace at this time, then shall their enlargement and deliverance arise to the Jews from another place. All right. So if you think you're going to hold your peace, you're not going to say nothing. You're not gonna go in that room and say, look, King, you know, put your femininity on and, you know, do what you gotta do as his wife so you can convince him not to kill the Jews. If you're not gonna do that, guess what? We're gonna be saved anyway. All right? You're not gonna do it. The Most High is going to deliver us any damn way. Right. We don't need you. You're not gonna do the will of the Lord. No problem. No sweat. Go ahead and call Kyrie Irving and Kanye West an idiot. All right? If you're not going to push this truth, don't worry about it. The Most High is going to open up the internet, and our people is going to learn the truth. And the son of perdition, the bastard, the vagabonds of the earth that oppressed us, they are going to fall regardless. Because our deliverance is going to come from the Most High God. And it's going to happen. Whether Shaquille O'Neal is on board, whether Charlemagne the God is on board, whether what's his name, Funk Flex is on board, right? No, it don't matter if you're on board or not. It's going to happen. Our enemies are going to fall. They are going to be destroyed. And guess what? You're going to be destroyed with them because you are in their kitchen waiting for some crumbs. While you're in the kitchen waiting for some crumbs, waiting for bones from the master, that house is going to be destroyed. And you're going to be destroyed in it. Go ahead, Pastor.
Right now, the brothers and sisters to master, you know what I'm saying, that we're planning on trying to leave the plantation.
Right.
And they telling them, you know, so let master, they over there planning on running away.
Yeah, they planning on running away, Massa. What are we going to do about it? Don't let them see a Negro, a free Negro on a horse. You know, like that movie, Django. Who's this nigga? You know, who is it? Like, because our people, man, we have to come out of this. You know, we got to come out of this. And all of us are not going to, but the few that hear the voice of the prophets, it's time for you to stop watching. All right? Stop watching from afar. Reach out. All right? Reach out. Don't be an individualite, an individual Jew. All right? Don't be an individual Jew. We're not individuals in here. We have a brotherhood. We have an army, for real. You know, Kyrie Irving said, you know, I'm not by myself. I have an whole army behind me. We don't see that army. He should be in here. You know, he should be in here. Because we will go to, what's that place in Brooklyn? The Jets, the Nets plays in? What is it? The Barclays Center. We will be in the Barclays Center. You know, you got to be in here, huh? you got to come back home. You know, and if you don't do it, no sweat. You did your job. You did your job, and we commend these brothers, man, for putting their millions on the line, for putting their livelihoods on the line to take a risk, because they are not trained the I.S.U.P.K, so there's only so much that they can do. Go ahead, Brothers up.
Oh, Salak, and if I may, then, you know, this goes along with, you know what I'm saying, when our brothers and sisters get interviewed and they ask them, you know what I'm saying, what you think about, you know, what Kanye West says, or, you know what I'm saying, the basketball player. They say, well, you know, they be okay. They be good.
Right.
They be okay, you know what I'm saying? But meanwhile, they're watching in front of their face that the brother's being persecuted for nothing.
Right.
You know what I mean? For nothing. You know what I mean? By speaking the truth. Oh, they be okay.
Yeah, they not trained.
They be okay. You know what I'm saying? But just you know what I mean? You know, so look at me. I got my head down. I'm not gonna speak nothing about it. They be okay.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, they're watching their brother being beat down.
You don't want to piss master off. You know, you gotta bow down. Bow down to the king.
Bow down,
you know.
Get your money out. You know, I don't have no. It's like it's. I don't have no hate against nobody. I love everybody. You know, that's what they always say.
Right.
You know, they killed about like 1,000 people in the rhymes, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're talking about killing niggas all day.
Right.
Niggas in the spits all day. But I love all people.
Right. That's another way of saying, I'm with you, master. I'm not with these Negroes. I'm not with them. I'm a house Negro. That's what they said.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a bad one. I'm a good one. You know, like Commander General Yohana was bringing out in class. You know, if you are obedient, if you could, you know, submit to the oppressor, you bow down, you're not a nigger. You're a good black person. You know, good black person. And you're going to be safe in Master's house.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's keep on going. To the Jews from another place, but thou and thy father's house shall be destroyed. And who knoweth whether thou art come to the kingdom for such a time as this? All right. Yeah, and who knows why, you know, you're in that position that you're in right now. Verse 15, then Esther bade them return Mordecai this answer. Verse 16, go gather together all the Jews that are present in Shushan, and fast ye for me, and neither eat nor drink 3 days, night or day. All right. So after Esther heard this, Esther said, you know what? Pray for me, because I'm going to do it. Because she realized she was wrong. She realized how selfish she was thinking. And she got checked. And that's what our people need sometimes. You know, like these brothers, they need a good checking. You know, we're not going to check you like we check Esther, like Mordecai checked Esther. You need a good checking, good old checking. You know, private checking. That's what these brothers need. They need a checking. Come, we need to bring Shaquille O'Neal here and, you know, give him a good checking, so he could walk out this door and get his mind right, because he's thinking like a certified slave. Go ahead, brother.
It's like I can't believe that we reading the story right now and what's going on right now.
Good.
And we can see it exactly right now.
Yeah, right
That's
now.
what's in the house.
Yeah.
It's
And guess what?
Watching my brothers and sisters being messed.
Yeah, and Purim is coming around the corner too. You know, the Feast of Purim is right around the corner. So we are in this season. This is the season that we are in right now. We are in this season right now in the scriptures. You know, because we are about to observe the Feast of Purim. Do you have that flyer that have all the? You don't have it, do you?
Yeah, I just have it on the phone.
Yeah, I have it. I'll get the date. We in where verse 17.
Okay.
All right. So Mordecai went his way and did according to all that Esther had commanded him. Chapter 5, verse 1. Now it came to pass on the third day that Esther put on her royal apparel and stood in the inner court of the king's house, over against the king's house, And the king sat upon his royal throne in the royal house over against the gate of the house. Verse 2. And it was so. So Esther put on this beautiful dress, man. This beautiful dress she put on because now she about to use her femininity. Her what's the word? Get me right on it. Femininity.
Femininity.
Okay, yeah, get me right on that one. She about to use how the conscious community say her female energy. That's what the blackity black says. You know, you need some female energy, brother. Esther about to use her female energy right there, brother. You know.
It looks like it. So she's tapping into her female godness.
Yeah, these blackity black folks, man. And you know what they're realizing now? They're realizing all that blackity black, all that Kemet stuff don't mean nothing. Because the oppressor is not mad at it. They're not mad when you all blackity black and African out and chakra energy and sage burning and Egyptology and stone worshiping. The oppressor don't give a damn about that. He will promote you. You know, he will promote that, but do not call yourself a Jew. You know, now we got these blackity black folks. They realize like this Israelite stuff is powerful. It is because that's our true identity. That's who we are. All right. Verse 2. And it was so when the king saw Esther, the queen, standing in the court, that she obtained favor in his sight. So of course, the king see his wife, even though he have a law that says, kill that broad if she wants here with no permission. He see his wife. Guess what? They haven't seen her in like 30 days. You know, he's minding the kingdom. He got over 120 provinces that he got to rule over. So he see his wife. You know, he's like, man, I haven't seen you in a while, boo. You know, that's how he feel. He's not about to kill him, especially the way she's about to come to him that we're about to read now. All right. She obtained favor in his sight, and the king held out to Esther the golden scepter that was in his hand. So Esther drew near and touched the top of the scepter. Which set is this?
Oh, this is the last one.
That was the last one?
Oh, this is the last one coming up.
Coming up is the last one. Okay.
Okay.
So now we're about to find out exactly what happened next. Chapter 5, verse 4 in the Hebrew.
Verse 3.
It's like verse 3. Cut. Chapter 5, verse 3. Waya amor la'a hamalak maha lak asatar hamalak ha wa ma'a bakwa shatak aid katazaya hamalak wa waya Nathan lak, verse 4. Watha amor asatar ail hamalak tawab ya bawa'a hamalak wahaman hayawam Allah like al hamad shata ashar I.S.U.P.K lawa, verse 5. Waya amor hamalak maharawa af haman la'ai shawaf af dapor satar waya ba'a hamalak wahaman al hamad shata'a ashar I.S.U.P.K Asatar, verse 6. Waya amor hamalak la'a satar bama shata'a hayayan ma'a sha'a latak waya natan lak wa ma'a bakwa shatak aid katazaya hamalakwa Wata Aish, verse 7. Wata Ain, Asadar, Wata Amar, Sha'a Lafia, Waba Kwashafia. So I can now read verse 7. Correct. So it's kind of verse 7. Mataza Afia, Kun, Ba'ai Yanya, Hamalak, Il, Hamalak, Tawab, Lathaf, Af, Sha'a Lafia, Wala'ai, Shawaf, Af, sorry, Bakwash, Thaya, Bakwasha Thaya, Yabawa'a, Hamalak, Wahaman, Al, Hamashata, Ashar, Ai Shaha Laham, Wamakar, Ha'ai Shaha, Kadabar, Hamalak, verse 9, Wayad, Wayad Taza'ah, Haman, Bayaram, Haha Wa'a, Shamak, Watawab, Lab, Wabara, Afwa, Haman, Af, Mara, Dakia, Basha Ira, Hamalak, Wala'a, Kwam, Wala'a, Za'ai, Mamanwa, Waya Mala'a, Haman, Al, Mara, Dakia, Kama'a. Right? Okay, so let's get it. We are in chapter 5, verse 3. Then said the king unto her, What wilt thou, Queen Esther? All right, what do you want? What's up? What's going on? And what is thy request? It shall be given, it shall be even given thee to the half of the kingdom. All right, so the king is being so romantic right now. You know, he's telling her, what do you want? I'm gonna give you the whole, well, not the whole kingdom. I'm gonna give you half of the kingdom. You know, I'll give you half. I guess that's where the oppressor gets this from. You know, when you divorce your woman, she get half. Yeah. You know, verse 4. And Esther answered, If it seem good unto the king, let the king and Haman come this day unto the banquet. And listen to this carefully, all right, sisters. She didn't walk in there, you know, telling the king, look, I need you to go and do this. There's a certain way that you speak to a man, especially your man.
That's right.
Right? There's a certain way you speak to your man. Now, this is a heathen. This is nothing honorable here in this marriage, right? And in her prayers, she even says it. And she prayed to the Most High that we're going to get in further down. We're probably going to go over this during the Feast of Purim, most likely, right? She even said it, right? Because it's not an honorable thing to be married to a heathen. But there's a certain way. That's her husband. And there's a certain way she is speaking to him. And sister, there's a certain way you need to speak to your husband. And you'll be surprised how he will receive you if you speak in that manner. All right? And this is what Esther is activating here. All right? And Esther answered, If it seem good to the king, let the king and Haman come this day unto the banquet that I have prepared for him. So she's not even talking about it yet. But she studied if it pleases you, if that's if it's your will, basically, you know, this is what I have in mind. But if you will, let this be done based on what you want. All right. Verse 5. Then the king said, cause Haman to make haste, that he may do as Esther have said. Right? So now look at the way she approached him, and this is how he's responding. The haste means to hurry. The king said, cause Haman to make haste. Tell Haman, hurry the hell up. My submissive rib, my submissive wife, my delicate wife that said something to me, and I need Haman to hurry the hell up there.
So you can't forget, she got on the best. She put on the best.
Yeah, she put on her royal her royal apparel, like he says in verse what's that? Verse 2?
So she knows
verse 1. Come.
She's looking extra feminine.
Yeah. She's looking glorious.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Then the king said, because Haman to make haste, that he may do as Esther have said. So the king and Haman came to the banquet that Esther had prepared. Verse 6. And the king said unto Esther at the banquet of wine, what is thy petition? So the king still know, like, there's something going on. Like, you got me coming to this banquet, and like, what's going on? Like, what's your petition? He's still trying to figure it out. And it shall be granted thee. And what is thy request? Even to the half of the kingdom. He repeated it. It shall be performed. Verse 7. Then answered Esther and said, my petition and my request is, if I have found favor in the sight of the king. He's still not saying, look, this is what I want. This is what I want. I want this, that, and the third. Give it to me. If I have found favor in the sight of the king, and if it please the king to grant my petition and to perform my request, let the king and Haman come to the banquet that I shall prepare for them, and I will do tomorrow as the king have said. Verse 9. Then went Haman forth that day joyful and with a glad heart. But when Haman saw Mordecai in the king's gate, that he stood not up, nor moved for him, he was full of indignation against Mordecai. So he was all happy, coming to the banquet, and here comes this Negro Benjamite. He's all happy. Mordecai just messed up his whole mood. Now he got blood pressure. Now he got a headache. Now he's like, I got to kill this Negro. He just coming from having a good time. Verse 10. Was verse 9 the last verse?
That was the last verse.
All right, so we're going to pick up next week. Esther chapter 5, verse 10. Next week. Is that good?
That's like it. So that Mordecai was always getting on his nerves.
Yeah.
Good.
Good. And this is how they feel about the I.S.U.P.K. This is exactly how they feel about the I.S.U.P.K. Why? Because we're not bowing down. We're not bowing down. That's why they won't debate us. They will not debate the I.S.U.P.K. All right, they fear us. All right? And we make these people sick. They wish they could just come and just kill us. Like, let's lynch all these Negroes. All right, but the Lord is with us, man. All right, because we believe in this. This is not something we talk about. All right, people talk about the Bible, but in the I.S.U.P.K, we live the Bible. This is our life. We breathe it. We sweat it. All right. With this, imagine here. Imagine here. Car. Horn. La Yasharala, which means to Israel. Amen. Right. 1 second prayers. So upon your heart put down, which means turn and face the east. The Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, I.S.U.P.K, Yahweh, Malakwaka, Taba'ah, Batazaka, I.S.U.P.K, Ba'arataza, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamayim, Ladanlanawa, Lakam, Ka, Yawam, Wasalak Lanawa, Kawawak Yanawa, Wasalak Lanawa, Kawawak Yanawa, Wala'ah, Tabayai Nawa, Banasaya 1, Abal, Hawashai Nawa, Mayan, Rai, Haya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha'ala, Wa'atapara, La'awalamya, Aman. In the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. I.S.U.P.K curses. Blessed are you, Yahweh, King of heaven and earth, and all things living. Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua, listen to us now, right now. Send evils and curses, and punishment and destruction to the heathen that speak against us, the prophets, the teachers, the priests, the princes, the Israelite brothers, and the school. Send evils and curses, and punishment and destruction to the heathen, and shake loose the treasure of the rich of Israel that refuse to give to the school. Force their riches to enter into that sanctuary. Send evils and curses, and punishment and destruction to the Edomites and the nations, and their drug dealers, the court system, the prison system, Planned Parenthood, all the governments of our enemies, Amalek synagogues and armies, Roman Catholic Church, the Pope, Islam, Christianity, Egyptology, militia, Ku Klux Klan, Aryan Nation, skinheads, Wasikamatazi, the gay movement, the lesbian movement, spies, workers of witchcraft, National Space Program, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Wall Street, open up the internet and the airways, the cable access channel, and the radio channel. Convict the spirit of any of that people that seek to stop us and bring swift destruction to all the heathen that stand in the way or trying to stop us from broadcasting your word throughout the planet Earth. Let loose all the plagues, cause them to go to and fro to the earth and consume them. Let the plague shake the house of the thief and the murderer. Let Yahushua, Michael, and Gabriel come down with the flying saucers and punish all the heathens that come up against us as we speak thy word. Cause it to be known by all that it is the angels that have done it. Cause it to be spread to the media throughout the whole world. Cause them to shake at thy coming. In the name of Yahushua, thank you always. So be it. So we should turn. We're going to give one courtesy salute. I.S.U.P.K, Imagine, Barak, Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushua, that's what's up. We're going to give one courtesy salute to the sisters who may be watching online. I.S.U.P.K, Imagine, Barak, Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushua, that's what's up. Dismiss. Next week, all right, we're picking it up at Esther chapter 5, verse 10.
Verse 10.
Yeah.